HexploreIt, Domain of Mirza Noctis. This is your review for you. Good day, my name is Joe. Today we'll be going over the most recent HexploreIt, the Domain of Mirza Noctis, and how it plays as a cooperative game. I did play this one with my buddies from Dads and Dice, Devin and Paul. This is the fourth one in the series. I just want to go over some of the differences. I won't go into exactly how it plays as a whole, just HexploreIt universe, but I'll go over some of the differences and why you may like this one over the other ones. So let's dive in. So in this game, the big bad Mirza Noctis, you are trying to thwart the plans, get strong enough, and invade kind of his castle, kind of that Curse of Strahd kind of atmosphere, where the different villages will be overrun with these collectors collecting blood, and he'll raise his blood pool over the course of the game. Hopefully he doesn't become in his ascendant form when you fight him, and he can keep his blood pool lessened up. But every time you don't move very far on your turn, every time the party doesn't move, he's able to focus in on you and really be able to, locate you guys on the map and then get those collectors out a lot easier and start taking the blood from these villagers, the collectors. So in this game, you're going to be searching for the castle and then defeating them once you find it. And this one's the classic Explore style, where you start kind of in the, your starting area, and you kind of branch out from there. However, this time you'll be finding these monasteries, and then you'll be finding these crypts and go into a dungeon. So this is a little bit different on when you find these crypts. You need to have a crypt key or find the entrance to it, and you'll go to a separate map. These little 9 tile, I believe, tiles that you're going to be around the board, and you're going to make this own dungeon, which may traverse the lands, and there's different rules for traversing that one. So the dungeon, the rune, and I think they're called the rune shards. You gather these rune shards from the dungeon, from some of these different quests, and you turn them at the monastery, and that's how you're going to kind of level up, get your level up and power cards. What's also unique about this game is you need to decide, am I traveling during the day or the night? We have 8 available investigations and circumstances that we'll be going through, but you can only do a certain one of those and accomplish those whether you're traveling during the day and night, which affects a lot of aspects to the game. Your character may be a little bit, may be able to do this during the day or this during the night, or, this or that. It's just that there's a whole bunch of things that actually specify what time of the day did you travel. So with those big things, this is probably the most easily to get into HexploreIt as far as the straightforwardness. But what does make this one a little bit more interesting as well is some of these boss spaces, you choose which boss you want to encounter. That does not mean, though, you are going to fight that certain boss, you're going to have to roll a dice, and you may fight that boss, or you may fight one a little bit easier or harder depending on the dice roll. So it's, once again, a little bit of luck in there, who you're going to fight. But I like that mechanic of, I'm going on to this space and we want to fight this boss. We think we're ready, but just in case we may bump up the difficulty, on that one. I did like the bosses in this one. I thought they were really varied. So just a quick overview of how it may differ from the other games. The Valley of the Dead King, pretty straightforward. Dead King's kind of go into these villages and you're kind of outrunning him, just gaining more power until you finally clash. Forest of Adramon, you're really trying to get the different artifacts. So Adramon's just much easier to defeat at the end. And the Sands of Shurax has the most complicated one with the cities on the outside and this ravaging worm in the inside. And there's many ways to win that one, whether you defeat the segments of the worm, have the worm beat everybody, beat all the other cities, or study the worm. There's I think, or pay off the worm. I think there's 4 ways to win that game. Really interesting, super complex. This is probably the second easiest one to get into after Valley of the Dead King. But it has the classic HexploreIt. You're going to be rolling your dice for exploration, for survival. Can you feed yourself? Can you navigate? Can I get a little extra gold along the way? And that's just a lot of fun with this game as a whole. So you're going to get the classic HexploreIt experience, while the Mirza Noctis is going to be gaining blood from potentially these collectors and some of these other ways. And hopefully you can keep that down long enough. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So this is my first HexploreIt experience with 3 people. Usually we play with 2, my wife and I, but this time I was able to play with the dads and dice, and I had such a good time. I think we all did. Lasted about 6 hours, and our party composition really wasn't that good. We played with the characters in the box, and with the characters in the box, you get the character, the race, which is normal, and then you get this kind of aspect. Do you want to be a cultist? Do you want to be this or that? And it's kind of neat, and you get this keepsake face down just in case you die. Something may happen, so death may not be the end. But during this game, it was just kind of interesting and neat. And that's what I really like about HexploreIt, is every game is going to be a little bit different. This time we had an ally who could actually fight, and we kind of kept him a little while. He helped us out quite a bit. Also in this game, the longer that an investigation is out there, you start putting clues on these investigations, which makes it easier to complete. And some of these investigations may just give you these rune shards and may not give you full level ups like they do in the previous games. So you may have to be really careful and really pool up your rune shards, so when you enter that monastery, you really feel powerful once you get those power up cards. But it's a lot of fun. The collectors, we didn't roll too many terrible dice to get too many collectors out there. We were able to keep his blood pool pretty low. We had an investigation card that sat right outside his castle, so we could lower the blood pool before we attacked him. Just a really fun game. Like I said, our party composition was terrible. We had a sapper, but with no energy drain, which means, we couldn't really do too much damage after we sapped his energy. He could do his normal basic attack or defend. But we really, it's a dice-based game. It's a luck-based game. But the stories that come out of it are what are interesting about these games and what I will take away from. So like I said, a little bit more straightforward than the other 2, I'd say the Forest of Adramon and the Sands of Shurax. But really good game, kind of the vampire theme. Once again, these games are great. There's so many different play styles. It's D&D, in a box. There's so many ways you can play. There's so much replayability. Sure, it's kind of tough to get to the table. It's a 6-hour kind of ordeal to play these games. But man, it is just so much fun, so much randomness, so much, I've never seen that before. These certain things came out in this order. I traveled during the day or night. This happened. Well, we need to keep traveling during the day because we really want that circumstance. Or, we failed doing that investigation. Now we got to camp. Now he sees us better. Now we'll get, it'll be worse on the blood roll at the end of every turn. The crypts, going down into the crypts, how long can we spend, losing track of time. This game is really amazing. Like I said, more vampire theme, more day-night theme. Once again, how it differs. It plays a lot of the same like the other HexploreIts as far as the movement and everything like that. Movement, survival, navigation with the circumstances you're trying to do. Just different ways of level up. Like I said, probably the second tier of difficulty. But once again, it's a home run. These games are amazing. They're not for everybody. But if you want a D&D experience in a box without a DM, please look into HexploreIt. You're not going to regret it if you're looking in for that time commitment, cooperation, just fun times for 1 to 6 players. So really enjoyed the Mirza Noctis campaign. We'll probably get this one out again. But once again, the rulebook is 94 pages long, so it's going to take you a little bit to get into it. If you really want just a base experience, Valley of the Dead King, then this one. But Forest of Adramon and Sand of Shirax, don't sleep on those either. So I really enjoyed this game and hope you guys enjoyed the just kind of mini overview and review. And until next time.